Every year in the U.S., more than 6 million lost, abandoned, or unwanted dogs and cats enter animal shelters.
Ariel's situation was brought to us by a citizen. She was left abandoned at an empty house where she had one puppy. She was probably dumped there. She was fending for herself, living on the streets, getting whatever food she could scrounge up. She was very much at risk. People were threatening to poison her. They were throwing rocks at her, bottles at her. I do not think there's enough legal enforcement in dog cases. If it's a very, very severe case, things are getting a little better and people are being prosecuted, but it has to be extremely severe. Most abuse cases are neglectful. It's just a matter of neglect, and most neglect cases, unless it's a big hoarding situation where there are lots of animals involved, are just basically not dealt with.
The laws aren't really as stringent as we would like them to be for shelter. Right now, shelter can be a tree and some grass. And we know, though, that's not very helpful during a harsh winter or a really hot summer. So as far as the law goes, we would love to see the law for shelter be revised to include maybe a roof and 3 walls or something like that.
Approximately 2 to 3 million cats and dogs, many of them healthy, young, and adoptable, must be euthanized in animal shelters every year.
The things that are needed by the rescue to keep these dogs healthy, safe, and get them adopted, number one is money. It costs money. It costs money to vet them. It costs money for upkeep, monthly care, food, shelter, that kind of thing. But the second biggest thing that we need, and probably is equally important as money, are foster homes, where the dogs can go into, get acclimated to being a part of a family.
Community education programs are so important, and getting people involved in volunteering and getting the word out there that animal abuse does happen. We don't know how much it happens, but we need to be stopping it before it does happen. And that means teaching kids how to take care of animals, especially K through 12, letting students know that they are one of the biggest helpers when it comes to preventing animal abuse. Because if we can instill a love of animals in them, then they're going to grow up loving animals and not abusing animals, and that will help us decrease the animal abuse problem.
I have always loved animals. I have always tried to help them for as long as I can remember. Even as a child, we would take the stray off the street. So it's just something that's always been a part of my life. And then as my child grew up and left and I had more time on my hands, I decided to volunteer. And through that volunteer work, that then led me into rescue. Children should be taught to be compassionate about animals. All life matters, and whether or not children are taught or expected to have a pet or a companion animal, it's not necessarily that they should have. I believe that all people should have pets. Some people might not care to do that, but you still should have compassion for them. The way we treat our animals really is a reflection of who we are as a society. So yes, absolutely, I believe if we expect our children to be compassionate and kind to each other, that starts with every living creature on this planet.
Researchers found that pet abuse had occurred in 88% of the families under supervision for physical abuse of their children.
We need better legislation with better language at the state level. We need backyard breeding to be shut down. We need puppy mills to be shut down. We need the state to set the tone that abuse is not tolerated, and we need to be proactive to help overpopulation and homelessness. I would like this to impact people in a way that at least intrigues them to think about the way that we treat our companion animals in our society. They matter. It matters. If we don't show kindness and compassion to animals, how do we evolve to the place where we show kindness and compassion to each other? So I guess think about it. Think about every living thing that is in our world, and we need to care about it. We need to care about things beyond our immediate self.